Hello, our Lives channel. Today we will learn about the explosive family drama that's tearing apart the DiMeras household. As Thomas DiMeras' emotional turmoil reaches a breaking point and threatens to destroy his father's chance at happiness with Kat Green. Family loyalty versus new love. The DiMeras mansion has become a battlefield of emotions as Chad DiMeras finds himself caught in an impossible situation between his young son's devastation and his growing feelings for Kat Green. Thomas DiMeras, still reeling from the shocking revelation that Kat once impersonated his deceased mother Abigail, has made his position crystal clear. He absolutely refuses to accept his father's new relationship. The pain etched on the young boy's face tells the entire story of betrayal and confusion that no child should have to endure at his tender age. Jennifer Horton and Jack Devereaux aren't the only family members voicing their strong objections to this controversial romance. Thomas himself has practically issued his father an ultimatum, leaving Chad in an emotionally devastating position where he must choose between his son's emotional well-being and his own heart's desires. The youngster's fury isn't just typical childhood rebellion. It's a raw, visceral reaction to discovering that the woman his father is falling for once deceived their entire family by pretending to be his beloved mother. The DiMeras brothers unite. In a rare moment of genuine connection, E.J. DiMeras will reach out to his brother Chad with surprising compassion and understanding during their heartfelt conversation about the family crisis. E.J., who typically maintains an icy demeanor and focuses solely on business matters, will show a softer side as he expresses genuine sympathy for Chad's impossible predicament. This brotherly bonding moment represents a significant shift in their typically competitive relationship, proving that blood truly can be thicker than water when family members face genuine hardship. The discussion between the DiMeras brothers will explore the complex layers of Chad's situation, with E.J. acknowledging that his brother is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Chad's visible distress during their conversation will reveal just how deeply Thomas's rejection of Kat has affected him. E.J. understands the weight of family expectations and the crushing responsibility of protecting children from emotional harm while also pursuing personal happiness. This moment of authentic connection between the brothers will provide Chad with much-needed support during one of the darkest periods of his life since losing Abigail. Jeremy Horton's controversial influence. Thomas DiMeras, desperate for guidance and struggling to process his conflicting emotions, will turn to an unlikely mentor, his new teacher, Jeremy Horton. Jeremy will step up to offer the troubled youngster some heartfelt advice about navigating the complicated waters of forgiveness and acceptance. The former bad boy of Salem will attempt to help Thomas open his heart to the possibility that people can change and deserve second chances, even when they've committed serious deceptions. Jeremy's counseling session with Thomas will focus on helping the boy understand his father's perspective and the complexities of adult relationships. He'll gently guide Thomas toward considering that Kat's actions, while deeply hurtful, stemmed from desperate circumstances rather than malicious intent. Jeremy hopes his words of wisdom can shift Thomas's perspective just enough to give Chad and Kat's relationship a fighting chance. The teacher will draw on his own experiences with redemption and second chances to connect with the angry, confused child. However, Jeremy Horton's involvement in this sensitive family matter raises serious concerns among Salem residents who remember his troubled past. Do the DiMeras really want someone with Jeremy's criminal history and history of abusive behavior toward Stephanie Johnson influencing vulnerable children during their most emotionally fragile moments? His return to Salem has already stirred up painful memories for multiple people, particularly Stephanie, who suffered tremendously during their relationship. While Julie Williams celebrates her family member's homecoming with open arms, not everyone shares her enthusiasm about Jeremy's presence in town. The ripple effects of Chad's decision. Chad's decision to break up with Kat, due to Thomas's explosive meltdown, has created devastating consequences for everyone involved. Kat Green has been struggling with intense emotional pain following their breakup, feeling heartbroken that their budding romance was destroyed by circumstances beyond her control. The separation has left both Chad and Kat questioning whether they'll ever have the chance to explore what could have been a beautiful love story. The entire situation has created a complex web of hurt feelings and difficult choices that affect not just Chad and Kat, but the entire extended family. Thomas's bold ultimatum has essentially given his father an impossible choice: abandon the woman he's developing feelings for, or risk damaging his relationship with his son during a critical developmental period. The weight of this decision has left Chad visibly struggling, torn between his responsibilities as a father and his right to find happiness again after the traumatic loss of his wife Abigail. Mark Green's dramatic return. Wednesday's episode will also feature the highly anticipated return of Dr. Mark Green to Salem's storyline, bringing with him a whole new set of complications and revelations. Mark's reappearance comes at a particularly volatile time, as his sister Kat's relationship drama continues to unfold. The doctor will share intriguing scenes with DiMeras, suggesting that their interaction may involve discussions about the Green family's complicated history with the DiMeras. Mark's return to Salem promises to add another layer of complexity to an already tangled situation involving his sister and the DiMeras family. His presence may provide Kat with much-needed family support during her heartbreak, or it could potentially complicate matters further depending on his own agenda and feelings about Chad. The connection between Mark and EJ could reveal new information about the schemes and secrets that have been plaguing both families for months. Leo Stark faces justice. In a parallel storyline that will unfold during Wednesday's explosive episode, Leo Stark will find himself in serious legal trouble when he gets arrested. The gossip columnist's past actions have finally caught up with him, leading to dramatic consequences that could change his life forever. This arrest comes at a time when Leo has been desperately trying to turn his life around and find genuine love and acceptance in Salem. Leo's arrest will send shockwaves through Salem's tight-knit community, affecting not only his own life, but also the lives of those connected to him. The circumstances surrounding his arrest remain shrouded in mystery, but given Leo's history of schemes, blackmail attempts, and questionable decision-making, the charges could stem from any number of his past misdeeds. This legal crisis may force Leo to finally confront the consequences of his actions and make serious changes to his lifestyle and choices. The path forward for the DiMeras. As this family crisis continues to escalate, Chad must navigate the treacherous waters between honoring his son's feelings and allowing himself the possibility of moving forward with his life. Thomas's perspective, shaped by grief, confusion, and a child's absolute sense of right and wrong, has created a nearly insurmountable obstacle to Chad's happiness. The question remains whether Jeremy Horton's intervention will successfully soften Thomas's heart, or whether this father-son conflict will continue to poison any chance of Chad and Kat reconciling. The coming days will test the strength of the DiMeras family bonds as Chad, EJ, and Thomas each grapple with their own perspectives on loyalty, forgiveness, and the meaning of family. Kat Green's fate hangs in the balance as she waits to see whether love can truly conquer all obstacles, or whether the sins of her past impersonation will permanently destroy her chance at happiness with Chad. Salem watches with bated breath as this emotional drama unfolds, knowing that whatever decision Chad ultimately makes will have lasting repercussions for everyone. Part 2. Days of Our Lives. Monday, October 20th, 2025. Sophia's Secret Shatters Salem. By Belinda Gates Turner. October 20th, 2025. Salem was never a town short on drama, but this Monday's Days of Our Lives episode takes heartache, shock, and confrontation to another level. It's a day packed with secrets unraveling, tempers flaring, and long-buried truths clawing their way to the surface. And at the center of it all stands Sophia, fragile, furious, and facing the storm she tried so desperately to avoid. The search for Sophia, and a shocking discovery. The day begins with tension already running high. Roman Brady quietly tells Brady Black that there's an empty room above the bar. A room that, as it turns out, might hold more than just dust and silence. Acting on a hunch, Brady and Steve Johnson hurry upstairs, hearts pounding. With the urgency only Salem veterans know too well, they unlock the door. And there she is, Sophia. Pale, terrified, and on the verge of flight. freezes like a trapped bird as the door swings open. The men's expressions harden. There's no more running this time. Whatever secret Sophia's been hiding is about to see the light of day. Down below, tempers flare. Outside the pub, emotions are already boiling over. Amy, Sophia's mother, lashes out. Literally. She slaps Johnny DiMeras across the face again, accusing him of being part of yet another DiMeras scheme. Her fury isn't just about Sophia's disappearance. It's about betrayal, deception, and the fear that she's losing her daughter to the same manipulative forces that have destroyed so many families in Salem. You're just like the rest of them. Amy spits, eyes flashing. Another lying DiMeras. And if Sophia's hurt, I'll sue you and every last one of your family. Before she storms off, Johnny glances through the pub window, and what he sees stops him cold. Sophia is inside, cornered by Steve and Brady. His heart drops. This isn't over. Not even close. Tate and Holly's painful revelation. Meanwhile, on the cobblestone streets of Salem, Tate Black and Holly Jonas are heading toward the pub when they're stopped by Leo Stark and Javi Hernandez. The pair are gossiping, of course, Salem's favorite pastime, and clutching their phones, where a missing person alert for Sophia flashes across the screen. Tate stiffens. Holly takes a deep breath. Enough is enough. They can't keep this secret any longer. She's not missing, Holly finally says, her voice trembling. And there's something you both need to know. Everyone leans in. Tesoro is Sophia's baby. But he's not Tate's. The words hang heavy in the air. Leo's jaw drops. Javi's eyes widen. In a single moment, the web of lies begins to unravel, and Salem's rumor mill spins into overdrive. Chanel's heartbreak and her promise. Later, Chanel Dupree enters the pub after Tate and Holly's emotional confession. She looks around the quiet room and sighs, speaking softly to little Tesoro, the baby at the heart of this storm. If Sophia doesn't come back, she whispers, Johnny and I might lose our chance to adopt you. But I promise we're gonna fight for you, sweetheart. You deserve love. You deserve a home. Her words are tender, but behind her calm exterior lies the ache of uncertainty. Moments later, her phone buzzes with a text from Johnny. She reads it, her eyes widening. Whatever's happening upstairs, she knows she needs to be there. Fast. A mother's love and a daughter's truth. Inside the pub, everything finally comes to a head. Sophia freezes the moment she sees her mother walk in. Amy rushes toward her, tears streaming down her cheeks, and throws her arms around her daughter in sheer relief. Oh, thank God you're safe, she cries. Please tell me they're lying. Tell me none of it's true. But Sophia doesn't. She can't, because it is true. Her voice is quiet but steady as she begins to speak. The truth she's held inside for far too long. You wanted everything perfect, she says, her eyes burning with pain. You wanted to control everything I did, what I wore, who I saw, even how I felt. Couldn't breathe, Mom. That's why I didn't tell you. That's why I gave birth alone. I didn't want you or Tate to force me to keep a baby I wasn't ready for. Amy's face crumples. The room falls silent. Brady shifts uncomfortably. Steve looks away. And in the corner, Johnny watches, guilt twisting in his chest. Because if he hadn't backed out of his promises to Sophia, maybe, just maybe, this nightmare wouldn't have unfolded like this. Chaos and collapse. As the confrontation spirals, more people pour into the pub. Tate, Holly, Leo, and Javi among them. Amy's hands tremble as she turns to her nephew, demanding explanations, while the others watch Sophia in growing alarm. Her breathing quickens. Her eyes dart wildly. Finally, she screams, I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. Her voice echoes through the pub, raw and haunting. She slams her head against the wall once, twice, until Brady rushes forward, grabbing her shoulders to stop her. Sophia, stop. You're safe, he pleads. But she's beyond hearing. Her body goes limp. She collapses into Brady's arms as Amy screams her name. Javi rushes forward to help, his voice breaking as he calls out for someone, anyone, to get a doctor. Sophia's eyes flutter open for a moment, but there's no recognition in them. She stares blankly at the floor, her body trembling, her spirit seemingly shattered. Around her, Salem's finest stand frozen. A tableau of guilt, grief, and disbelief. A town forever changed. When the credits roll, Salem feels a little darker. The truth about Sophia, Tesoro, and the tangled web connecting the DiMeras, the Blacks, and the Hernandezes has exploded into the open, leaving behind emotional wreckage that no one will escape unscathed. Amy's heart is broken. Johnny's guilt runs deep. Tate and Holly's relationship is in jeopardy. And somewhere in the chaos, a young mother lies still, caught between the weight of her secrets and the desperate need for freedom. In Salem, the truth always comes out, but rarely without destroying something beautiful along the way. And as Monday's episode fades to black, one question lingers. Will Sophia find healing? Or will this heartbreak be her undoing?